The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation without your head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, GoreClubbers, and welcome back here to the GoreCast with me, Johnny Deadly, and my home slice, who's a little bit wet because it's wet out.
No, I was in lots of, I was in the full wet here. It was good.
Well, then he just much naturally looks soggy.
What?
I have no idea.
I was going to say I got lucky because at least I wasn't hit or struck. Yeah, caught in the
I feel
thunderstorm.
like we shimmy you up a little bit.
Well, probably, yeah. But like at the time, it was all trying to get
yeah.
mics and everything lined up.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my back.
Yep, careful. There we go. That's better. And we'll just.
I still expect to get to like be driving home later on in the middle of a thunderstorm.
It's quite possible.
Yeah, apparently one hit Ennis earlier on. Katie was having great fun, although she was apparently tempted
There's
to...
Katie. Hello, Katie.
Hello. Apparently very tempted to blast Amara at full pitch so that the neighbours would have a proper idea as to what a storm should really sound like.
Is it a thunderstorm, or is it just some seriously good metal? I don't know.
Either way, it's an awesome time. It's an awesome time.
Okay, so you have some news bits, which we will discuss. Sorry for the weird GoreCast... I don't know. There's a bit of a grindhousey coloration to the show today, which has worked out kind of well, but if anyone's wondering what's going on...
It's a hell of a lot better than it was when he first hit the thingy, when myself and him looked like we could have been running for the American presidency, or working in Charlie's Chocolate Factory, one or the other. I've got a fucked up message for you.
What?
It all equates to the same
Yeah,
thing.
we have fucked up messages, but it's of a different, less politically orientated variety. Most of the time. Give or take.
It's alright, my views aren't so much political as, tyrannical.
It's political.
I firmly obey the politics of Megatron, peace through tyranny.
I worry about you sometimes, friend. Do you know that?
Only sometimes.
I'm
not doing my job properly.
Well, yes. Okay, fair enough. This is true.
Thunderstorm plus aliens using flash photography.
Yes, I saw that post earlier. She's convinced that it's aliens doing snapshots.
Oh! Shit, that makes
studying the
sense.
pandemic before they come visit in August when the restrictions are lifted.
That kind of does make sense.
Well, sure, we all know they're there now.
Oh yeah, they've always been around.
Well, not that we didn't know they were there in the first place, but we have confirmation that they're there now. Do we? Damn, it's sexy in here. Yep. You're in the chat, Mike.
Hello. Do we have confirmation of alien life now?
Yeah. Did you not?
I
NASA
don't watch the news.
So NASA came out a couple of weeks ago during the pandemic, just because shit wasn't going crazy enough, and declassified a load, and so did the Pentagon. Declassified a load of old UFO evidence, pretty much declassifying it and saying, "Yep, yep."
Cool.
I suppose they were just like, if there was ever a good time to slide it out where people won't really notice now, it's it. Oh, pandemic. Oh, yeah. And by the way, aliens. Just to let you know. What? Nothing.
As if you
Moving on.
As if you weren't aware of it the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving into more horror-related news, I suppose.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha
I
ha.
just got to finish sharing this hooker out.
Okay, so it seems in the last few days that Patrick Wilson from The Conjuring and a few other actually good films has joined the cast of the upcoming Roland Emmerich movie Moonfall, which was announced last year. Roland Emmerich, of course, being the director of Independence Day, Godzilla, and Independence Day Resurgence.
Which Godzilla?
One would imagine the 2014 Godzilla movie, since somehow I don't think he directed the original 19...
The one with Heisenberg?
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
okay with that one. Yep.
Yeah, the start of the new
Well,
stuff.
I'm okay and not okay with it. It was an okay movie.
It was a damn good remake of the original Japanese movie.
Yes, it was, but it did get quite slow in bits.
True. But then again, that's also kind of the way the original Japanese movie went.
Yeah, but that was because they had a god-awful Godzilla.
It's also because they knew how storytelling worked.
Yeah, it's just I didn't feel this was so much really intricate and inherent story building is just slow.
Yeah. Plus,
Was my only issue with it.
Plus, let us never forget the fact that it suffered from the age-old problem with American monster movies, whereby why are they always at night?
Mike actually waved back.
Oh, cool,
which is nice.
Anyway, getting back to the story at hand, as I said, Roland Emmerich it was announced last year he's going to be doing a new sci-fi epic, which is going to be titled Moonfall. Let's see now. In this film, Wilson is set to play a disgraced former NASA astronaut whose last mission, which ended in tragedy, holds a clue about the impending... Why are you sending me... Holds a clue about the impending catastrophe.
Also, I don't think I sent it to you. I sent it to the Gore Club.
No, you definitely sent it to me.
Oh, I did send it.
Otherwise, my tablet wouldn't have gone ping. Anyway, Charlie Plummer is set to play Sun. Moonfall imagines a disaster in which a mysterious force knocks the moon from its orbit, sending it on a collision course towards the Earth. With little time to spare, a ragtag team launches the last-stage mission to the moon, hoping to solve the mystery and save the Earth from annihilation, while Aerosmith does a cool soundtrack. Wait, no, that's Bruce Willis movie. My bad.
That's Armageddon.
Take out Aerosmith and Bruce Willis, and apparently that's Moonfall.
Do you know what's really pisses me off about that movie? The soundtrack specifically. There's so much awesome Aerosmith on that soundtrack, but it's always going to be remembered for the I can stay away with you. And ZZ Top.
Ah, yeah, the strip bar.
Yeah. No. That's actually Aerosmith doing ZZ Top.
It is.
What kind of lover you are? That one?
I don't. Anyway, taking all that crap out is going to be the new Moonfall movie. Anyway, since you brought up Godzilla and since it's kind of related, it seems we have a release date for the upcoming fight flick Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh God, I've waited for this for so long.
Well, wait about 365 days longer because it's being released on May the 21st, 2021. And it's apparently being rated PG-13 for intense violence. Oh no, sorry, creature violence, destruction, and brief languages.
Oh, say what?
Intense sequences of creature violence. Yes. Oh, hey Buzz. Hi Buzz. Plus, we got a bit of a synopsis this time around, which, to be fair, kind of sounds like the synopsis for the last movie. And I can't read it because my tablet's a hunk of shit. Scroll down, you bastard!
I really think it's time you start writing notes.
By writing notes, do you mean like photocopy the articles that I'm paraphrasing from? Ah, here we go. Anyway, got it. In a time when monsters walk the Earth, humanity's fight for its future sets Godzilla and Kong on a collision course that will see the two most powerful forces of nature on the planet collide in a spectacular battle for the ages. As Monarch embarks on a perilous mission into uncharted terrain, fuck off, Chrome. Oh, for fuck's sake. Into uncharted... As Monarch embarks on a perilous mission into uncharted terrain and unearths clues to the Titan's origins, a human conspiracy threatens to wipe the creatures, both good and bad, from the face of the Earth forever. So, although, see, there's a lot of stuff up in the air because apparently Warner Brothers is selling a lot of its stuff. So, I don't know what the future of any of its stuff means anymore.
They better not fuck up that movie. They've been talking about that movie for years now, and I want it.
Well, they're selling all their computer games, so
that's strange enough, different department.
But probably foreshadowing for the eventual, running away from whatever.
It's not impossible.
Let's face it. Right now, I'm sure there's a bunch of execs at the top.
Me fail English.
Right now, I bet there's a bunch of execs at the top kind of going, you know what? We're not making any money over this pandemic thing. Let's sell everything to make money. Because that's how their brains work.
It does make sense.
Just look at McMahon. Anyway.
I knew that's where you were going.
He is the prime example of what not to do in a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, good news, everybody. While Tom Cruise might have destroyed the dark universe, ever rising, it seems that as a result of that, good things have happened.
Sorry, good things have come from Tom Cruise destroying the dark universe.
Yes, because rather than us getting, a potential Marvel-like Avengers-ish type thingy shoved down our throats, instead we are getting creator-driven horror stories like The Invisible Man, which was so successful that Universal Studios has decided to turn around and gone, that worked. That worked a lot. So How about
that's
this?
because it did work.
How about this? Rather than us trying to basically redo the Monster Squad and compete against Marvel cinema that's been going for the last decade and a bit,
Right.
why don't we just go back to our roots and bring out some really good horror movies?
Jesus, it's wow. I mean, it's such an out there idea that I don't know how it could possibly work, but for some reason, call me crazy, I think I might just get there.
Well, so far it's worked, because as we all know, the Invisible Man went down a bloody treat. And it seems to have sparked a certain mindset whereby they're looking at things kind of going, what do you know? People don't want elaborate, star-fueled, big-budget, fucking smorgasbords shoved in their faces. They actually want really good, intelligent horror movies.
Mike Rydell said, just before we move off the news bits, because it's
I haven't even gotten into the next bit of news.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm saying before we get moving on with the news bits
Okay.
further. He said, Kong and Godzilla, are they going to fuck with the scale? Because technically Godzilla's like 150 feet tall, whereas
King Kong was still growing in the 1970s that we saw him in Kong Skull Island. Therefore, in the last 30 years, he could have easily grown to the same size as Godzilla. Is that what you mean?
I feel like you may have answered your question in a little bow there. Perfect. Moving on.
Because that's pretty much what they said they were going to do from the start.
Okay.
Anyway, getting back to this.
It's kind of fit in canon with original Kong. He was like supposed to be baby Kong, wasn't he?
Do you mean in the American kaiju movies that are currently coming out, or do you mean in the old 1940s
I mean,
movie
black and white
that...
up in Empire State.
No, he wasn't baby nothing. That was Kong, king of fucking Skull Island, the king. It just so happens that the 1940s King Kong movie was made years earlier and in a completely different country to Godzilla.
Yeah. And
Therefore,
I'd
having
never
nothing
thought
to
that
do
they
with
were
it.
going to run into each other, to be honest, probably.
Until the 70s.
Gojira.
Anyway, getting back to the story at hand. Like I said, because Tom Cruise is a fucktard, we are now getting some decent horror movies because I suppose, you know, hindsight being 2020, his ego destroying the Dark Universe may have been for the better. Like I said, because The Invisible Man went down a treat, it seems that one of the films that was kind of being knocked around as a potential... actually, it was going to be one of the next big Dark Universe movies, but it's now being retooled a bit. Bride of Frankenstein, from David Koepp. From David Koepp. There we go. Koepp. Now, here's the thing. He basically had the original Bride of Frankenstein remake idea, and it was all kind of retooled to fit into the Dark Universe that they were going to do, where all the monsters got together and formed their own Justice League of the Monsterdom and whatever.
Yeah.
But instead, he's been given the opportunity to take his original ideas, peel back all the shite that they were forcing him to tack on, and give us the movie that he wanted to do in the first place. Let's see. Speaking with Collider this week, Cope suggests that the death of the Marvel-style Dark Universe has not necessarily meant the death of the Bride of Frankenstein script. That was one thing I did during quarantine. I brought back Bride of Frankenstein into a place where I kind of always wanted it to be, Cope explained to Collider. Universal... Yep. I'm probably getting his name wrong, just leave me alone. Universal was very gracious to let me try again because they had Koepp, as I said, whatever. Universal was very gracious to let me try again. Because they'd geared up and shut down famously in the Dark Universe fiasco, so I have a version now that they have a version that we all really like. I think we're really they're talking to directors now. He continued that it's not going to be the big 150 million budget star-studded fucking smorgasbord fuckfest.
It doesn't need to be. That's the thing.
Yeah, so
if you have a solid, if you've done a solid reimagining of that original story, there's a solid story there that you just need a nice fucking castle and some fucking...
Well, actually, you don't need any of that, potentially, since the script that he's working on...
Modern time.
Yeah, let's see. It's not the great big 150 mil extravaganza with the giant movie stars, but it's not as scaled down as The Invisible Man. It's much more reasonable, a doable thing, which I think...
Excuse me, Invisible Man, quite a doable thing. Thank you very much.
With, I think, a really cool idea, and it's all in present day. So, yeah.
I am down for this because I was just very upset when it died a death anyway, though I was quite interested to see how all of those monsters would work in a Avengers, DC, Justice League kind of style.
Yep. Finally, the last bit of news. Hopefully I can get through it. Okay. So Clive Barker has launched a legal bid to get back the rights to basically the Hellbound Heart and the script for the original Hellraiser movie.
G'day, Bill.
Bill, how are we getting on? This goes according to basically a change that was made in copyright law back in 1976, whereby the creators have the rights to, after 35 years, basically apply to get the rights back, but they got to do 2 years before whatever the expiration date is on the original rights deal.
Yeah.
Now, this kind of ties into the reason why the Friday the 13th stuff is up in the air as well.
I think that's got resolved. There's stuff looking to be coming out. I don't know what that means. Are you saying it's blown up worse than it was? Or are
I'm
you
saying the gods only know how.
I don't know.
I'm saying the gods only know how whatever's coming out is coming out, but that has not yet been resolved.
Alright.
Anyway, so where are we going?
Incorrect answer. Your response should have been General Kenobi. What? What?
The gods only know. Where am I getting to the actual info? Yes, here we go. Barker's termination, if effective, would not take place until December 19th, 2020. If the producers can get a new movie out before then, they will be legally in the clear, just nothing new after that date.
I love the fact that there's been several Hellraisers in the last
But
10
it's all-
years, but it's nearly as if the courts are like, oh no, they don't count.
But-
No, but they're a
doesn't-
continuation of, no.
It doesn't matter.
No.
It wouldn't matter anyway.
Even in the eyes of the court, we can't actually justify those as movies.
No, they don't matter anyway. None of that matters. Whether they're counted as
You're
movies or
just
not.
pissing on my joke.
It's the rule, like the legislation is that he's the owner, so after 35 years, he can lobby to have the rights returned to him, regardless of what's come out before.
Well,
Now-
good. They might actually do a proper Hellraiser movie again, which would be nice.
Well, yeah, it'd be him doing it. Let's see if there's anything.
I'm all right on
else.
the burgers there, thanks, Mike. I'm quite full of fish and chips.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing is, right? Like I said, if is it Sony or Paramount, whoever has the rights at the moment, if they get something out before December 19th, 2021, then they have the rights to whatever they bring out.
Right.
This is relevant because.
They're going to make one.
Hang on. This is relevant because HBO has ordered a Hellraiser series. TV series.
They're going to make one.
Well, it's a TV series that HBO has ordered to pilot.
Yep.
So even if they get that out before the deadline, then that means that you could have that going while the creator gets the rights to Hellraiser back and starts doing his own film franchise. So you could have two completely...
Separate continuity Hellraisers running.
Potentially, yes.
That sounds like a clusterfuck to me.
Well, in any case, we won't know what the story is until, like I said, December of 2021.
Johnny Deadly's vote.
So yeah, that's it for the news.
Okay,
Oh.
so last Sunday, no, sorry, that's a lie because last Sunday was yesterday. First of all, apologies about yesterday, but I was editing mental and my computer needs a certain amount of respite after a hard day's work, which doing the podcast was not going to be part of that respite, unfortunately. I didn't choose this, the computer told me so. So, anyway,
Shut itself down
show's
again,
out
didn't it?
today, but last week we were discussing at the end of the show, we were asking what you guys would like to see, and then Giz mentioned an idea for an episode, then we threw that idea out, and you guys
Amended it.
amended it, kind of.
Made suggestions
Not really.
for it.
Yeah, made suggestions. Which is what I like doing.
Remakes.
I hate remakes.
Most
Most people at this stage do, although I wouldn't
there
mind doing...
are a couple of exceptions to the rule.
Have we ever done a remix that works episode?
So
I know I did a worst remakes episode on Demented Pictures channel, which if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's
not that hard.
Parker.
Not that
No,
hard
you
to
and I
find.
did worst remakes.
Probably. Like I said. Sorry,
Yeah,
like I
because
said,
I
it's
bitch
not a hard
slapped
one
you
to
because you tried to talk about the American Psycho movie.
No, why would
The
I?
one with Mila Kunis. You were like, having not been a big fan of American Psycho, I actually thought this movie was okay. And now I was appalled because it's terrible in relation to the... Although I am...
That's right, I have seen that film.
That's where I heard that shit.
No, it's just the way my brain works.
Out with you.
This
What
is not
movie?
worth hanging on to.
What movie? Blah.
Happens all the time. What reality?
Indeedly.
Happens
Anyway,
all the time.
so, theme for today was general TV, when it goes horror, well, because there's plenty of shows that many shows have the mandatory kind of yearly
Horror
delve
theme.
into horror with the Halloween episode.
Yeah, there was a couple of options I could have gone with, but for me, unfortunately, the vast majority of the stuff tended to focus on the cartoons. So I decided to do everyone a favour, sticking with live action. Tried to stick with the live action. Although I admit that Transformers Prime episode where they create the Terrorcons that are draining energon from everyone, just for the great line of "I'm going for the head." Where'd you learn that? American drive-thrus. Screw that. I'm going for the spark. It was hilarious. Turns out, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, so first up, was that Transformers? I just heard you mention Spark. I tuned out there for a second.
I knew you would, motherfucker. They did a really good horror episode.
Transformers? I believe it. Yeah. I remember Jason the Wheel Warriors had a really creepy episode before everyone was getting turned to ice or it was sucking the life out of people and they were turning to statues. I can't remember exactly.
I'll be fair. Jason Wheel Warriors did do some dark shit, but I could never get into it. Although Bill has recently suggested that I just jump straight to episode 4 to get past all the building crap.
If I remember correctly, I quite enjoyed it. I do remember it having a badass theme tune.
Oh, shit. Thanks. It's stuck in my head now.
Certain films are so good they should be left alone, and that is the testimony of the lifetime.
Anyway, moving into the TV shows, or the horror episode of famous TV shows. Yeah, like I said, trying to primarily stick with the live action, although Bill's suggestion was a corker of a suggestion and one that we decided to take on board.
Well, we had to take Simpsons on board because when Halloween, outside of it being long running, though I had forgot how long running it was because that Treehouse of Horrors episode is literally season 5, and I was like my whole knowledge going into The Shining when I read The Shining and everything was based upon The Simpsons. Yeah. So, but Simpsons, as someone who stays true to the Halloween kind of feel when they do an episode, Simpsons are traditionally quite good. Yeah. Some episodes are exemplary when it comes to the world of horror. Some of them are just more Simpsons do Halloween, but
yeah. Anyway, to start things off, we said we would go with a classic from the 1990s. God, so old. Star Trek: The Next Generation, as opposed to Star Trek: The Original Show, which is what he was trying to do the theme for their second one. Now, to be fair,
we're the voyagers of the Starship Enterprise.
To be fair, Star Trek has always had a tradition of giving us some very creepy episodes. Even in Kirk's time, there was a number of episodes where the creep factor was dialed up to 11.
Mostly because he was hornballing on some women who were blue or green.
That's not what I meant by creep factor.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry.
They're different creep. I mean, like, when I say creep, I mean like spine tingling, not, not, womanizing. Anyway, like I said, Star Trek has always had a long-standing tradition of using the sci-fi medium to give us some creepy episodes at times.
Sorry, I'm going to answer Bill there really quickly and go crazy, because I just like the fact that he's probably going to go mentally behind the computer right now.
Maybe. Anyway, but to be fair, The Next Generation managed to have an episode whereby they really dialed up the creep factor. When, in the middle of space, it's like they managed to do a really creepy alien abduction story.
It's like Star Trek: The Next Generation do Fire in the Sky.
Yes!
Except that they're also in the sky.
Yes. The episode opens up with Riker, who is clearly not having a very nice
Must
sleep.
say, one of the best Next Generation comedic moments going. It's Data is reciting a fantastic sonnet he has written about his since passed kitty cat. Or is the cat still alive?
Spot's still alive.
Spot. It's just his love of said kitty cat. Sorry, and it's, as you can imagine, rather robotic. As Geordie said when he was asking him about the poem later on in the episode, he's like, the haikus, very intelligent. The little bit of satire,
clever.
That's it. Very clever. This thing really
very
clever. But did it draw an emotional response from me? No, because it was a Android's very analytical view on how you do poetry. Okay, you need this to do this bit, you need that to get there, and you need that to get the little laugh at the end. And without the actual heartfeltness of poetry. Anyway, I'm digressing into the
to be fair,
point.
Data's art apparently isn't poetry, but it is very much actual art, as we will see in later seasons.
Yes.
Anyway, Riker, he hilariously passes out damn near during the poem and then just stands up and...
Well, that's good. To the point where Data just goes, "Oh, you misconstrued where the end of my poem is, but your sentiment is appreciated," and then just continues on with what must, judging by the way the entire crowd. You see, you don't get a full insight as to what's going on with Riker here, because you can see quite a few people in the crowd are.
Worf is there just kind of...
Worf looks like he's actually asleep with his eyes open.
I firmly believe he is in deep and intense meditation. It's the only way to survive
The only thing that could have told that he was actually asleep with his eyes open more was if he did that thing that dogs do with the... No, you know where the eyes kind of roll up into the back of the head? He's just sitting there and he's like...
Point is, Riker is clearly sleep deprived, which is very unusual for the first officer of the USS fucking Enterprise, because it's all prim and proper. And we soon find out that there are other members of the
Star Trek war is unleashed in the chat already.
Oh, for frack's sake.
Katie just went Next Gen and Voyager, every other Star Trek series, and then Mike Rydell, Voyager was poop. And I'm just imagining she hasn't responded yet because it's a doozy. It's coming in next.
I'm waiting for Bill to jump in.
Dude, that's why Bill hasn't commented either.
Just like, you know, I can actually see a verbal cannonball about to arrive. Cannonball!
This is going to be a very weird episode for anyone who listens over on Spotify for the podcast side of things, because there's probably going to be several minutes of silence when myself and kids just sit there and read.
Only good thing about... Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Go on, Bill. Wait to bring it to the lowest common denominator.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately, he's not wrong, because all the best episodes were Borg-related.
Yes.
Even if they did rip off Alien vs. Predator blatantly.
Yes. You know who you are, Gene Roddenberry.
He had nothing to do with it.
it.
Anyway, getting back to the episode at hand.
Sorry, he was the only one that would come to mind
because he's the creator of it?
And I just watched Next Gen.
Yeah. Anyway.
I literally saw his name on a screen there.
Getting back to the episode at hand. The crew of the Starship Enterprise, several of the crew, apparently are going under some rather intense sleep deprivation, to the point that at one point, Riker walks. I'm not even. No.
No one like Jar Jar Neelix.
Neelix had a couple of cool moments. Neelix
needs a sorry.
We're not putting him in the same category as fucktard Binks.
Why so you not like me, kids?
The blatant racism. And I'm Irish, and I'm even saying that. Anyway. Back to the episode
From
at
a country of inherent racists. That was pretty fucking racist.
Hey, if anyone's going to get called dogs, it's going to be us first anyway, so why not? No Irish or dogs allowed. Signs still hanging in some places in the world.
Breed like them, look like them, fight like them.
Anyway, back to the episode at hand. Sleep deprivation is rampant aboard the Enterprise. I think one of the most glaring cases is when Riker walks to his room with Geordi, goes in to lie down, tells Geordi, give me a shout at 7 a.m, puts his head in the pillow, the door goes off, he answers it, Geordi's there telling him at 7 a.m, he's just like, what the actual frack?
Kids can testify, I've evidently been abducted by aliens, because he's come down, and like, what the, I told you come down at 8 o'clock, it's 8:30, what the fuck is going on? I'm just going to close my eyes here for a minute while this renders out. Tuesday, what?
Between that and sudden reactions to unusual stimuli around the ship, such as Worf grabbing the hand of Mott the Barber when he got a little bit too close with the snips, which, to be fair, understandable. Mott talks.
I don't like scissors either, Worf, I get it.
I thought Worf was going to stick him with that scissors.
I'd imagine he has the same issue I did, where he probably watched too much Bosco as a child.
It's not good scissors.
Because he gave me an inherent fear of scissors until I had a rational understanding of the way scissors worked.
What the hell, Bosco, were you watching?
The one that no matter what pair of scissors they brought out, they told you to get an adult and always get the fucking paper because scissors are very, very dangerous. And then my little brain was like, scissors very dangerous. Why are you putting that fucking thing near my head? And anyway. Then I never got a haircut again. My hair's tied up.
Anyway, like I said, between the sleep deprivation and the reaction to ordinary things like Riker sitting down at the con and just feeling trapped, I suppose.
Claustrophobic.
Yeah. It leads to...
Inexplicably, considering he's well trained and well versed in how to use that kind of gear.
Yeah. So this combined with Data of all people apparently losing time in the cargo bay means that they are
You nailed
definitely...
it, Patrick. Ah, the clicking guys.
Yes.
That's them.
Yeah. So basically they figure out that definitely there is 100% something happening aboard ship. They soon discover that there is in fact a breach leading to a realm of subspace that they haven't encountered.
Yeah, which within that realm is another alien ship where they're experimenting on fucking Star Trek.
Yeah, basically Geordi
Not
made...
Star Trek, sorry.
Enterprise
Experimenting on Starfleet crew.
officers, yes. Basically all because Geordi made a modification to sensor array that got their attention, and they basically went, ooh,
Which I like to think is one of those kind of scenarios where it's kind of like, blop, blop. What's that? Clever little bastards. Well, zoom, yum.
pretty much
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Proper experimenting on them. Like at one stage, the
Riker's-
doctor...
Riker's arm was removed and apparently replaced.
Yeah, we took it off, put it back on again. Took it off.
I found it interesting that in that scene we had a genuine future monster in the background. Do you remember there was the kind of medical officer that has a couple of lines and he's standing right behind Beverly?
Yeah, yeah.
That's Tobias Mother Frackin' Beecher of Oz.
Oh, sorry, I know what you mean now. I was like, where was there a serial killer in Star Trek? Next Generation. Cute.
He wasn't a serial killer. He wasn't.
There's potential.
He was an omnipotent, sometimes mass-murdering deity. There's a difference. It's all
Numbers.
scale. Yeah.
The methodology.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I want to poke them with a stick.
yes. Yes, sometimes Q very much did poke entire populations with a stick.
Or just Picard sometimes for the crap, because he loves fucking making that egghead sweat.
That literally was for the jollies.
Yeah, it literally was.
Then there was the time he went up against Cisco, and
I remember
Cisco punches him, he looks up and he kind of goes, "You hit me, Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard." "You're right, you're much more fun." It's just like, oh
Picard never
no.
Yeah.
I can get a rise out of you. This is going to be great.
Worst mistake he could have ever made, actually, because it's just kind of like, well, open the floodgates.
Game on.
Yeah.
Game
Picard
on.
had that level of chess-like,
Stoicness.
yeah, where he was like, he's going to love if I pop my cork right now, and I'm not going to. He's that level of spiteful that he will be passive because it'll annoy the shite out of you more.
Yep. Anyway, getting back to schisms, as I said, it's one
And
of
then
those.
you have Kirk who will just fuck your girlfriend.
And your mother and your sister, and then tell you about it
Yeah.
while he's signing the peace treaty with your civilization.
Yeah. With photos of them attached.
Because that's the fucking
I don't think these are
sealing the
applicable
deal.
files.
See, like I guarantee Kirk will figure out a way of. Here is our pact, sealed in my semen all over your family.
Now time to seal this letter so it shall never be opened again. Plop.
Anyway,
Just to clarify, I have actually had sex. I know that sounds like I haven't. Is that what he thinks it makes? Hold up. It's like 40-year-old virgins, you know. Tell me what the titties felt like, man. They were like gorgeous, alluring bags of sand. Have you ever felt a titty? Yeah.
Anyway, as I said, Schisms manages to show how truly terrifying space can be while still being in a situation that's all about space exploration in like the most for Star Trek to be this kind of like sinister is the best way of putting it, because there's a part in the episode where
Sinisterly meta as well, because it's an alien abduction within an alien show within space looking for aliens.
Yeah, it's, to be honest, the scene that really makes this episode for me is when Troy gathers Worf and Riker and a few other people who have had these encounters, and they all get together in the holodeck in order to try and recreate what they went through to piece together like memory enhancement. And
it's amazing how dark it can get from a standard wooden office table. That's I'm going to say.
It's just when there's that slow realization, when they just turn around and goes, when Geordi turns around and goes, "I've been in this room before," and when they all have, it's
right,
just that,
we all have.
just that one. It just that's the moment you just get that little chill up your spine. It's kind of like, oh, that's creepy.
People are getting raped by aliens.
But yeah, definitely Schisms is one of those episodes that highlights how terrifying space is, how Star Trek works well as a medium for a bunch of different story structures, and how horror works brilliantly in sci-fi.
Have you seen Kez from Voyager these days? Woof.
Kes? Not lately.
Well, woof, evidently. We can't say much. So,
However,
there's probably less woof, more woofable. No, wait.
I was going to say 7 on the other hand is still quite numb.
Kez, the Wesley Crusher of Voyager.
Yes! Although some might say that Harry Kim was actually the Wesley of Voyager. Because he was always sticking his dick where he shouldn't have stuck it.
Wasn't Wesley Crusher on Deep Space
Enterprise?
Nine for a while?
No.
No?
No.
He was in another one.
No. Wesley Crusher got the boot from Reality in the Next Generation. People disliked Wesley Crusher so much, they took him out of Reality itself.
Oh, was in like literally time warp and gone. Oh.
As in, he got to the point that, do you remember there was that episode where, like, it turns out he's like a prodigy when it comes to space-time?
Yeah.
And he's phasing in and out with the Traveler?
Mm.
Well, he meets the Traveler later on because Wesley stops time and the Traveler tells him, you've reached the point where you've removed yourself from the timescape. You are ready for bigger and better journeys. In other words, an excuse to get rid of that mouthy little shit you. Gone! Leave our entire reality! Piss off! And he
Picard.
He never
We don't like
returned. It was great. Great.
Kind of Hugh, essentially.
He did, except not nearly a dick. Or fun.
Or whether you wouldn't know, because Big Bang Theory would lead to believe that
Wesley-
let him continue on.
Wesley would never be fun, therefore he could never be that kind of a dickhead either.
Because he doesn't have the potential to be fun.
Pretty much. Like, you know.
But that's sad.
Harry Kim was more like Esri Dax.
I don't know if Star Trek was the right one to start off with. There's a whole fucking thing going on.
Trust me, it's far better to get this bollocks out of the way now. Wait till things get going with the other stuff. Cool, Bobby, duh. Anyway, I think that, what the hell?
Picard was going to be... Oh.
Picard was nearly Crusher's
It's going to get
stepdaddy.
really funny when everyone hears on the buzz of this episode, because it's like, so next on to Doctor Who. Haven't seen it. I've seen the episodes for tonight.
Okay, that's all
I
that
just
matters.
haven't seen any other.
That's fine. Are we doing a trailer for the Star Trek thing, or are we just jumping straight in?
We can do. I didn't realize we finished Star Trek, but yeah, we can jump. Oh, we're
You
like
were the
we're
one
like
that-
40 minutes in.
You were the one that started talking about Doctor Who
Sorry. Yeah, we'll do a trailer for Star Trek, and we will be back
with the Doctor.
with the Doctor.
Without warning and no explanation, an experiment in terror has begun.
I've been in this room before.
We've all been here before.
Have crew members been kidnapped and memories erased?
I need to know if anyone comes on or off this ship.
It looks as though your arm has been severed and then reattached.
And will they be sacrificed as human guinea pigs?
Commander Riker has been taken from the Enterprise.
Next time on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
And we're back. So, that was the trailer. Brief, because they're obviously little just TV teaser kind of things.
Pretty much.
That would have been out. But that's for Star Trek. Now moving on to Doctor Who next, which
You're not a big Doctor Who fan.
I'll tell you how not a big Doctor Who fan I am. I went back through the Doctors, and it would appear the last Doctor Who I watched, I was possibly 8.
Tom Baker.
Yes.
Sorry, before
curly white hair.
That could also have been the 7th Doctor. Rainbow Scarf?
Yes.
Tom Baker! Sorry, he's the most zany, and up until Peter Capaldi, my favourite Doctor. And then Peter Capaldi came along as basically...
It's probably him. I do remember him being kind of a little bit wacky and coy at times.
Tom Baker is the one, like, he's been brought back in numerous
His word don't
times.
get popped in the conversation a lot these days.
Coy. What?
Coy.
Coy. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking of Romana there
He's
for
like-
a second.
He's very held back at times, but then times where he's
Off
like,
the walls.
off the wall. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like a doctor who's on and off his meds.
Jelly babies. No, that particular doctor had a hankering for jelly babies.
That's what they call them, jelly babies.
No, really, he'd walk around with a bag, or a pocket full of jelly babies, actually.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you could see them. They were big, round-tree, orbit, whatever. Anyway, Doctor Who has had a tradition of delving into the creepy and the downright horror since its inception back in the 1960s. And to be perfectly honest, there will be a shit ton of episodes over the last 50 goddamn years that we could have pulled from. However, I decided to stick with the most recent incarnation of the Doctor.
And because we like to shake it up.
Yeah, being the 13th Doctor, played by Jodie Whittaker, the first female Doctor.
Can I say, as a non-Doctor Who watcher, I very much enjoyed her in this. I could see how she had taken bits of the old Doctors into her behavioural patterns and the way she handled certain things, but it was a very cool character.
Part of that goes, and it's almost the tradition with a lot of the Doctors in a way. A lot of the times when the Doctor comes in, that first season when you have a new person in as the Doctor, it's kind of like they're finding themselves and they're figuring out what kind of Doctor they are.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second season, they're always a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more set, and that shines true with Jodie Whittaker's character, particularly in this one. Just the comfort level that the actress herself had with the character and and with the supporting cast, or companions in this case. This particular episode that we're going to be looking at happened in the most recent series, and it is The Haunting of Villa Diodati, which takes place in 1816 on the night, the infamous night, that inspired Mary Shelley to write Frankenstein. In fact, that's exactly what the Doctor and her companions...
Yeah, they're having a bit of a historical looky-loo.
Yeah, it's one of the things that they like to do from time to time. It's not just the Doctor...
Hey, you ever heard of Frankenstein? Did you ever hear of how that came into happening? No, they're all at a party and they challenge your man and the wife to write a scary story, and they come up with, Frankenstein. Fuck off. Is that really what happened? Yeah. Hey, do you know the way I've got a phone box that lets us travel through time? We go anywhere. Do you want to go watch them make the book? Fuck yeah, I do.
Which is exactly what...
You don't get that conversation in it, but I'm just filling you in on that, because I'd imagine, roughly, especially considering Bradley Walsh is there, I was like, that's probably... Huh? Yeah, I was like, that's probably... Dude, it's Bradley Walsh. Even the character is Bradley Walsh.
One of the previous episodes had them going to a vacation world. Oh, pretty much because the Doctor mentioned it and he just went, oh yeah.
Because it's Bradley Walsh.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Do I get to sing on stage in front of 500 people?
The other reason that I mentioned this episode is because that was a close second for my pick.
Because the Butlins kind of thing is a horror episode?
It's a full-on monster invasion. It turns out their idyllic paradise is basically a bubble on a world that you don't want to fuck with. And then someone breaks the bubble, so the things you don't want to fuck with get in.
I'll tell you what, I would be quite happy to do another one of these episodes in a couple of weeks, where we could throw... That sounds up my street.
Like I said, it goes to prove the point that over the course of Doctor Who, there have been so many episodes that fall into the horror category and the dark category. Some of the things that the Doctor himself has done, fucking hellfire. Planets have burned. But anyway, getting back to this one, as I said...
Nice, light-hearted fun.
Oh yeah. Getting back to this one, as I said, it's the Doctor, Yaz, Ryan, and Graham going to pay a visit to Mary Shelley, Percival Shelley, Lord Byron, Dr. Polydorus.
Lord Byron is a bit of a cunt, you realise.
And I can't remember the name of the chick that's hanging off of Byron for most of the episode.
He's Mrs.
No. That's the important thing. See, Byron was recently divorced. It was kind of messy.
Wasn't he? He was with her.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm using Mrs. in an associated term.
Yeah, kind of.
He's concubine.
He was trying to get there.
Oh no, I thought he got there, and then it was him being a snivelly, whiny little.
He was on the cusp.
Woman wielding human shield.
He was on the cusp of getting there.
Oh,
that night he probably would have gotten there.
Oh, yeah, because she wanted to get the letters to see how he actually felt about her and all. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. He was trying to get his iron, or she was trying to get her iron. People were trying to knock boots.
Basically, he had managed to, without... I don't want to use the word seduce, because that implies a little bit more effort than I feel he would have gone to.
No, he basically just went, I'm rich and I'm famous for writing.
He's a Lothario.
Yeah.
Byron always was. That's kind of what he was. Anyway, point is, they're all gathered around when the lads come and knocking. It scares the bejesus out of them.
Mike Cordell, I'm making moonshine. You want some?
Yes.
Fuck yeah! Hey, if you draw our faces on the bottle, we will
appear and drink it all.
Yep, and we'll put it there.
Yes.
With the other things.
Yes.
We'll try and sort of collection of shit that people made with our shit in it.
Anyway, getting back to the episode, like I said, they arrive on, and
we will drink it in there live.
yes,
We'll do a 2-hour drunk stream.
Shit, I can't drive that night.
Spare room.
Okay. Anyway, getting back to the episode, as I said, they arrive on. Byron suggests they do the horror stories. Unfortunately, very quickly, things go
Are
not according
seem.
to how they should be.
Because the place appears to be haunted as fuck.
Yeah. Fucking Percy Shelley disappears. The only thing anyone sees in him is some mad shit scrawled on walls.
Yeah.
Madness, utter
You have
madness.
the slight inklings that things aren't right. There's the odd picture falling off the wall here and things like that. Oh, did I mention human hands just sprouting through the fucking pictures and going on a wander, Evil Dead style, around the house?
And the fact that apparently nobody can get out. And
Yes,
when you try to
there's
move...
some sort of temporal loop going on, because when you go up, you go down, but when you go left, you go right, and most of the time you're left just doing this spinning kind of motion in the middle.
Once again, this episode perfectly encapsulates how the old phrase goes, sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
Cinema Reaper, yo!
Or in this case, it's indistinguishable from a haunting.
Yes.
Because all the classic tropes are there. Like you said, the maze of a house that seems to, change as you move around it.
Well, it's not. There's no seams to change. It's literally, I walked upstairs, but yet I'm still downstairs.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to get downstairs, but now I'm upstairs.
Later on, of course, the Doctor is able to see through what's going on and explain it from a sci-fi point of view, and it all makes perfect, utter sense. Even when they bring in the inspiration for Frankenstein itself, which is...
Yeah, do you know, I have to agree with you there, because like as a guy who doesn't watch Doctor Who a lot, when she did the explanation of it's a veil of an illusion. Close your eyes and you see. Close your eyes and you have to see. And you're like, huh, yeah, totally. Like, yep.
And I loved how
Murphy. What's going on?
This was Jodie Whittaker's.
I really need to get like a bottle of fucking. Who used to do it? Murphy's still not doing it. Murphy's. Oh. Remember, the samurai.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, this was also one of the cool things about this episode is that the whole point is that it's the inspiration for Frankenstein.
Yep.
This marks the first time that Jodie Whittaker's version of the Doctor would encounter a Cyberman, which basically, when you get right down to it,
we think it's her first time in season or series.
It's Jodie Whittaker's Doctor's first time meeting.
She seems to know a lot about them, though.
Because the Doctor has encountered the Cyberman.
Yes, I don't know how it works.
Knowledge is retained.
Yeah, new body, same brain.
Yeah, different personality.
Yeah, well, of whoever they're in.
Yeah,
but same brain.
Same knowledge.
Yeah, okay.
All the knowledge is there. Personalities change with the new Doctor.
Gotcha.
So anyway, this is, like I said, Jodie Whittaker's first encounter with a Cyberman, and it's used as a great way of introducing any new viewers, because let's face it, now that the Doctor is a woman, all those feminazis decided, yay, we're going to jump on the sci-fi boat, dipsticks. So naturally they have to introduce all of them to these classic characters. And it's
also,
a fantastic way of doing it.
a very good way of having a running parallel between the actual Frankenstein movie and what goes on within the realms of the Doctor. Because this Cyberman isn't like all the normal Cybermen, where they hadn't fully, I have to put it in language that I understand, they hadn't fully assimilated him into Cyberman mode, so he still had some cognitive human emotion and reasoning, making him very like Frankenstein the monster himself, who is a man trapped in the body of a monster and treated like a monster and thus acts accordingly.
With one vital difference, however.
He's evil.
Yes!
Evil as fuck.
Because when you get down to Mary Shelley's story, the character Adam, Frankenstein's monster, is at heart a benevolent creature driven to extremes.
Yes.
Whereas the Cyberman is an evil, malicious,
treat a man like a monster, and a
son.
monster you will have.
Exactly. Whereas this Cyberman in this episode,
he stabbed his family to fucking death and became a Cyberman, so he was pretty much ready. But what was it? I slashed all of their throats when they joined the resistance.
Yeah. He's a dark motherfucker. He's on about slaughtering his own children and everything.
Yeah.
So
there's a brief moment where he leaves her child alone instead of just stomping it into the ground, leaving a little baby puddle. And she's like, there's a man in there. He's like, the only reason I didn't destroy the child is because it was absolutely fucking useless.
Pretty much.
I sound like that guy from South Park.
They're coming right for me.
They're coming right at us.
Yep, you get him, Ned. You get him. Like I said, for old Doctor Who fans and new ones alike, this works as the perfect example of how the Doctor Who storytelling genre is perfect at times for horror, and how it can bring in historical horror is the best way of putting it, by having this night, by having these different reasons for why Mary Shelley would eventually come up with this groundbreaking story.
And I will say, as a man who doesn't watch the show inherently, so maybe it didn't bother me as much or whatever, but in relation to having the female Doctor, what's your fucking problem?
I never...
No, yeah. I'm not talking about you. I remember you defending her. You were like, it could be as plausibly a woman as a fucking dude.
They had already planted the seeds. Actually, they planted the seeds, funnily enough, in Dr. Baker's time. One of, Tom Baker's time. One of that doctor's companions was Ramona. She was a time lady. And so she regenerated. And one of her, she was going through like possible regenerations. One of them was alien male. And then she settled on hot human female.
Good choice.
With a preference for like English schoolgirl uniforms.
Good stuff.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, so...
My Ramona. My Ramona.
Yeah. But yeah, so as I said, works perfectly as an introduction for new fans and old fans into how Doctor Who can take a well-known horror story, integrate it into its own world, and
between you and I evidently makes the size difference even more apparent. I'll tell you something for nothing. This is probably the most equally leveled we've been in the studio in a long while.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we move into the trailer since I keep...
Yeah. All in all, if you are not a Doctor Who fan, you can totally pick up this episode during Halloween times, or if you're in the mood for a quick little dose of horror, and be quite happy with what you're going to get. Because I myself and Pam really enjoyed this when we were watching it.
And
good crack.
If you find that you are a Doctor Who fan and you'd like to see where this goes, it's worth noting that this is the beginning of a 3-part finale.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I might download the other 2 episodes, because those it leaves you on an annoying punch the hole in a wall kind of cliffhanger, just like finish the fucking story, you know. You're kind of like, well, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing how that turns out. You know what I mean?
Get turned up to 11 with every humanity's very existence at stake.
Well, Letty, what's going on? How are you?
End of time. Cybermen have wiped out damn near everything, but there's a plot allowing them to come back and really wipe out everything. Time travel.
Yeah, I might have to watch that.
And do you remember how dark and sinister you thought that Cyberman was?
Yeah. I know they get way more dark and sinister once you remove the emotions box.
Oh, it's not even that. It's the origin, how that particular guy got built.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to hit the trailer, or little TV promo for
The Haunting of Villa Diodone.
Thank you. And we're going to be back with... What are we going back with?
That Simpsons or the other one?
I'll leave it up to you. This was your show creation.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure out we're on the trailer. Okay, we'll be back momentarily.
At midnight, we took a torch to the chapel. With pallid countenance and trembling limbs, we descended to the vault. Hildegard's leaden coffin loomed before us.
How about writing the most gruesome, spine-chilling ghost story of all time? I'm getting this really weird vibe off your house. I don't want to worry you. But I'm sensing that it's sort of unrelentingly evil.
And we're back. So that was the trailer for Doctor Who. As I said,
of Villa Diodone.
Yeah. Season 8.
Season 12, episode 8.
8. Sorry, yeah, I had it the wrong way around. Season 12, episode 8, if anyone wants to watch. Really good. Just pick up and go horror episode.
Yeah.
Totally fun.
Yeah. You don't even need that much backstory. Just
I didn't.
Yeah,
she time travels around the place because she's a doctor. Although that doesn't even... Outside of her having an exceptional level of knowledge of the way things work and things like that, there isn't that much emphasis on the Doctor Who-iness side of things, bar Cyberman.
Yeah, for that episode, as I said, that's kind of the beginning of...
But Cyberman is also in there as a very important story arc, as a reflection of
as
Frankenstein himself, or not Frankenstein, of the monster.
Yeah, for the first, like I said, each Doctor, there's always a thing in Doctor Who whereby with each iteration of the Doctor, you get a chance to reintroduce classic bad guys.
Yeah.
So the first time they run into a Dalek.
The cool thing about this is they didn't really reintroduce a classic bad guy because this guy's a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Another one of the one of the fun things that they've been that allows.
Like I didn't feel like he was just shoehorned into the episode because of the specialities about him.
Yeah.
It's, as I said, it's very reflective of the story that they're there. The story that they're there to view in the first place.
And it ties in nicely with actual historical events, such as the summer caused by the volcanic eruptions.
Yes.
Except in this, they have it tied into the reason that the Cyberman is there, and a couple other stuff like that.
Very cool stuff.
Stuff like that is often what happens.
Anyway, next up we have it was a toss up, but we said we'd go with the more serious one and end on the Simpsons because the Simpsons is the more lighthearted of the bunch.
So, I think it's safe to say that Game of Thrones has encapsulated the planet's imagination for the last few years. With the unfortunate exception of the last season, whereby the showrunners decided that they were in so much of a hurry.
It's shot at night time, shot at night time, shot at night time.
No, the entire season is Paul's, but the entire last season. Because basically the two guys went.
Shot at night time?
No, not all shot at. Basically the two guys went, we could do this well. We could do everything we said we were going to do. Or we can get it all done really quickly so that we can then fuck off for that Disney Star Wars money that it turns out we actually won't have the spine to actually complete the movies because when we see how big it is, we're kind of going to shit ourselves after we fucked up Game of Thrones. So yeah, thanks, lads.
I'm going to make a rant warning button from now on, and you're going to give me a warning. And I'll also do a warning, or you call me in the middle of a rant because sometimes I don't get a warning on the rant, so I just go.
Anyway. The point is, as a result, I think it's safe to say that The Long Night, or as a lot of us call it, The Battle of Winterfell, is probably the last watchable episode from Game of Thrones.
It's definitely a lot of the saving graces for me was how action-packed it was, while also being incredibly infuriated with said action.
Yeah, you see, the Battle of...
Which sounds odd, I know, but that's how I felt.
The Long Night basically sees the culmination of one of the longest running storylines for Game of Thrones. Some would say the storyline for Game of Thrones, i.e. the battle between the living and the dead. All the dead are down from the wall after the Night King managed to get his hands on a dragon and break the wall.
Game of Thrones, Army of Darkness.
Yeah, so he's basically broken the wall and taken his entire army. It is heading down to eat the north and everything south of the north.
And by the way, they got a dragon.
Yes, that's how he got through the wall. Yeah, so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I think my brain just goes with dragons, especially considering it's odd considering I've played Skyrim where you exclusively go around hunting dragons and trying to obtain their souls. But for some reason, Game of Thrones, I'm just like too many dragons and shit. I just can't be. It's not so much. That's a lie. It's just some seasons nothing happens, and then some seasons everything happens, and everything happens in such a sporadic way that a lot of it had to do with watching 5 seasons in 2 weeks. Because I don't know if you've added that up. Like some of those seasons can take a day.
Try binge watching Babylon 5.
Nope.
Back to back.
No interest.
All in one sitting.
Can't be arsed.
22 episodes a season.
I'm okay.
4 seasons.
You continue.
Hour-long episodes.
I hope you enjoy yourself.
I nearly broke my brain.
I'd imagine you did.
But I did it. Anyway, getting back to this. As I said, it is the The Long Night, Battle of Winterfell, whatever you want to call it, is essentially the last best episode from Game of Thrones. The last really good one. And as I said, it sees the culmination of one of the longest story arcs whereby everyone that's willing to fight for the living...
There's icy guys who are also undead. And they've accumulated an army.
Yeah, everyone that's willing to fight for the living has gotten together at Winterfell.
Pretty much the whole world has...
give or take. Yeah, give or take the assholes that decided they're going to be sneaky bastards and try and do horrible shit and then run.
Oh, after this episode?
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
That's obviously the sister, is it, that bangs her brother? Is it? I had a funny feeling.
There should have been another army up at Winterfell.
Oh yeah, I know.
Instead they had Jaime
Lannister.
Lannister.
Yeah, because I know, because Dinklage said, don't worry, she's coming. But she was not coming. She definitely was coming, but in a very much different manner.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no, wait, that's also applicable from Dinklage. She banged the fucking fire beat.
Yes.
I'm going to call him a pirate. I don't
Yes.
think he actually is a pirate.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he is a pirate.
He
Hey.
is the king of the pirates. That's the whole point.
Okay, I liked his. Do you know? I liked his moxie in there. She was like, "You're looking to have your head chopped off." He was like, "Nah, no." Been living too long anyway.
40. There's one of the other episodes where basically that mad bastard is on a ship and it's like a gangplank is the only way of putting it, and it comes crashing down onto another ship. He's on the top of it as it comes down, and all you had is 40 underneath. Full-time mad bastard.
Brian Murphy, a mate of mine, says he doesn't watch Game of Thrones because he likes to keep his porn and his dragons separate.
He doesn't know what he's missing, to be perfectly honest. Oh, I've seen stuff.
I'm fucking sure you have.
Anyway, getting back to the actual episode at hand. This basically, like I said, it is the last great fight in the great battle, as they've been calling it. So you have all the main characters that you've been kind of getting behind. You've got Jon Snow, you've got Thorin, you've got the Hound, Arya Stark,
who's the little fucking
killing
dude,
machine.
I'm telling you, that one episode, I learned a valuable lesson, which was, if you want a job done right, send in Arya Stark.
He hasn't seen all the other cool shit she had done up until then.
Dude, she takes out the fucking dude.
She killed the Freys. All of them in one sitting.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Previously to this, do you remember the Freys who killed her brother and her mother in that
Are they the witchy?
No, they were the ones that the Red Wedding.
Oh yes, cunts.
She killed them all in one sitting. All of them in one sitting.
Blew up a building?
No.
How?
Well, first she
poison.
First she made Walter eat his two sons. Told him he'd eaten his two sons.
Oh, she Scott Tenorman them.
Pulled off the fake face.
She Scott Tenorman them.
Let her know who she was. Slit his throat. Then put on his face. Invited all the assholes that slaughtered her family along to a celebration.
Your tears are so salty, Scott.
Give a nice big toast about what great brave men they were for slaughtering the Starks when their guard was down, in their homes, in the middle of, being their guests. Let's all drink a toast, you stupid bastards. Did you like that? Boom! Winter is here, and the North never forgets.
Stabby, stab.
Didn't need to stab anyway.
Oh, God damn it, I just fucking... Man, I don't cockblock you when you start rewriting movies because they sound better in your head.
That's because I'm genius.
Are you telling me it wouldn't be awesome if she just went around and fucking stab-a-thon after saying that line?
She went on a stab-a-thon before saying that line.
No, it would have... Imagine this. The poison doesn't kill them. They're all just fucked up and groggy. And then she goes around on a fucking killing spree.
Oh yeah, she'd definitely do
like,
that.
Fucking... Not literal rock music, but you know what I mean? Some fucking cool fucking Game of Thrones style music, and you pretty much just recreate the fucking scene from...
The Red Wedding?
No, not the Red Wedding. That fucking... What's that spy movie?
Upgrade?
No. It's got Samuel L. Jackson in it, and they're English spies. There's a fucking unmerciful murder scene that goes on in a church. I'll figure it out. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, anyway, getting back to the episode at hand. To be fair...
I can't believe I'm blanking on this.
To be fair, when looked at properly, this is actually an outstanding wall-to-wall battle against the undead. It's basically the forces of humanity fighting zombies for the bones of an
Kingsman.
owl.
Kingsman.
Spine stabby?
I didn't say spine stabby.
Oh, that's what threw me. I thought you said spine stabby.
No. Although he does stab a guy through the spine with an umbrella.
The sight of blood makes him throw up.
No, that's Samuel L. Jackson, the guy from Kingsman, who the chip thing works in his head when he goes in the murder spree.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine the poison doesn't kill them. They're just all groggy and shit. And then she pulls off the mask and says, "Winter is here," and then fucking head off here, fucking chop off an arm, stab through the chest, moving on, stab, and then whoever's face she needs out of that crew that she hasn't mounted up, fucking just pop him off and fucking wear it on strong and move on with your big old Otis-like life.
Very true. Anyway, getting back to the episode that actually happened. Like I said, this is basically a wall-to-wall, hour and 20 minutes worth of
it's a horror movie
battle. Yeah.
It actually is. It's a horror. It's a Game of Thrones, Army of Darkness style horror movie without the comedy, because
yeah,
it's quite serious.
Even the musical tension is very reminiscent. And here's the thing, right? Now, I read this after figuring it, but part of the thing that got me was the music felt very John Carpenter or George A. Romero-like at times. You know, that kind of that beat that they use sometimes to build tension. You know, that dun dun dun. And then afterwards I was reading how even the guys who were doing it were thinking very much Assault on Precinct 13, where you have this group of misfits almost coming together to fight this unstoppable encroaching
Except the group
force.
of misfits at one stage aren't even a group of misfits. It's a group of their undead friends.
Banding together? What?
Didn't he raise up a load of fucking dead people at one stage?
Oh, that's...
Their armies are depleted, and then your man just goes, boom,
oh,
and all
yeah,
of a sudden all their dead people stand up, and it's like, shit!
We are bollocks!
Shit! He literally replenished his army in 5 seconds. With our people, by the way, which is not fucking fair.
He should have seen that coming, since they did the exact same thing to him the previous season.
Yeah, and I also would assume that's how the dragon got fucking blue flamed.
Something like that.
That's the mama dragon, isn't it?
No, that's like she is. Daenerys is the mama.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Daenerys is the mama. They're her babies. She was not happy when that happened. Mama. But as I said, when you look at the episode overall, it is actually fantastic. The only downside is, as we said, the production is let down by some piss poor lighting, and the fact that part of this piss poor lighting, from what I heard, was done in order to take away from the fact that, like I said, they rushed this, and they were supposed to have way more. You're looking at a scene that is supposed to have tens of thousands, and that's on the humanities side. You have the armies of the Vale, you have all of the North, you have the wildlings that have come down, you have what's left of the Night's Watch, you have the gods stand unsullied. That's still like they should number nearly 10,000-20,000 on their own.
Yeah, they should have been triple the number that was there themselves, let alone all the other armies people. Now, I'm aware it's hard to get that many people accumulated on a budget.
That's just it. They could have. They really could have. Yes, Game of Thrones was so large and they had the budget and everything like that. They actually very well could have gotten in the right amount of people to be able to do it in daylight, where you had, look, the Battle of the Bastards was done properly. It was a daylight battle with a fuckload of people. I mean, whew, that looked impressive as hell.
The problem with this was, and you and I, to make you understand of how much of a horror movie this episode was, you and I have complained about this with fucking horror movies a whole gallon, where to compensate for lack
budgetary
of CGI
constraints,
and to compensate for lack of people there, they shot it so fucking dark that you can't see more than 5 or 6 guys deep, no matter what shot you're in. And then all of the action, which from what I could tell, did look fucking awesome, except that it was chopped up faster than a fucking John Woo movie. And also to compensate for the fact that I'd imagine they were doubling up fucking soldiers the whole time. And, you know, I definitely saw that guy die earlier, but he's here again. What's going on?
No,
and it's not all like that.
Yeah, there are some scenes whereby the darkness actually works in the favor, such as the beginning with the cavalry charge.
The triple dragon fight up in the sky.
Yes,
the darkness actually really added to that.
Especially once the Night King gets involved and he brings in this extra cloud that encompasses everything to try and quench out the flames.
Yeah, it's bloody, it's awesome.
At that
like
stage,
at one stage, Daenerys and Jon Snow just drag and smack into each other completely accidentally.
Even just how the chaos on the ground, because of that weather storm, or that storm cloud that comes in, the flames are died down. So there's a great moment where it goes to the camera and you see, I think you have Brienne and Jaime and Podrick outside Winterfell, and in that time the darkness worked because it shows the chaos of the battle, whereby they're like, it's a proper visceral fight for their lives.
Indeed.
But like I said, it does still detract from the overall awesomeness when you're squinting, kind of going, am I looking at the Unsullied making a wall against the dead?
Or is that just a wall of dead Unsullied?
Yeah, you can't quite tell until you see movement, because that's part of the tactic whereby
you just apologize to your microphone.
I would apologize to you for causing audio disruption. But overall, when you look at the episode, every element in this is ideal for horror. Perfect. Arya Stark running through Winterfell itself, her own home. Once again, the lighting Could have been a bit brighter.
When she decides to go ninja killer bitch. Jesus Christ, it's fun.
Even when she's creeping around, because she knows she's outnumbered, creeping around the library.
The tension in that scene. But also, you're already, even if you don't watch Game of Thrones, you've been made very confident in her skills to get around the place. So there is tension, but you're also like, I would be very surprised if she fucks this up, to be honest. Because these guys are stupid as fuck, and she's moving.
She walks around a case at one point, and she walks straight into one of the dead, and just, but there is that split second where like, was that a? And then you see blue eye. Oh no, that's a corpse.
He's dead.
No, it's not even that. That was a corpse that she killed. That wasn't just a person, because Arya. Yeah. Sorry about that. She has
my thinking on a lot of things, which is swipe first, and ask questions later.
The conversation.
Just to let you know, if this zombie apocalypse does kick off the way everyone says it's going to, just if you do see me coming, just you should probably note that is literally one of my rules for life: is swing first and
basically be loud and make sure that you're audible in actual words.
Yeah, I am human. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard plenty of zombies say that. Have you?
I'm human. That's not a good reason to let you live. Anyway,
we're human.
We're. Now your dinner.
Nom nom.
Anyway,
wait, what?
It's zombie apocalypse.
You are probably going to end up eating someone eventually. Yeah. No. Look. Yeah. You're not wrong.
Anyway, as I said,
Cannibals on next week's show.
This episode has everything you want from not only a horror movie, but also from the Game of Thrones episode that it's been building. Because, like Bill just pointed out, some of the characters in this, you get, like, fair play. It's not often you get to see a 10-year-old awesome lady run at a goddamn undead fucking giant. Not a zombie, a giant.
Yeah, she also gets annihilated.
But it's a great death.
Oh, she dies like a warrior. And she takes out the fucking giant.
Yeah,
so,
that's what makes it a
moral victory.
Yeah, that's what makes it a great
And she comes back as a big blue-eyed zombie. So,
yeah, that's kind of a little bit sad.
There's that. I like what Bill said there about Arya got the best education of anyone in Game of Thrones. She learned from a mercenary, an enemy house leader, an assassin, a night protector, and her own family. And that fucking dude that taught her all the fancy fucking sword work as well.
Yeah, he was a sword master.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She's built for killing people.
Did you see what she did?
No. Did it happen in season 5 or before?
Yeah, okay.
Cool. Moving on.
Just briefly.
Dragons and shit.
Do you remember the guy that worked for Joffrey and used to enjoy beating her sister?
Wasn't that the Hound?
No. The Hound was actually not an asshole.
Much.
No, if you look at the Hound, he's not an asshole at all. In any way, shape, or form.
Fucking chickens.
I need all the fucking chickens.
I need all your fucking chickens. I fucking love the Hound, man.
Armory Lorch? No.
Yeah, I do remember Joffrey had a dude that used to smack.
She catches up with him in Bravos.
Ginger? Or Arya?
Arya catches up with him in Bravos. She takes her time.
Yeah, she's a little killer, man. She's brilliant. Arya Stark's amazing.
Yeah, we always knew it.
I can appreciate when someone... It's a cool story arc where you go from being a girl who wants to be in an army turning into a one-woman army yourself.
It's actually kind of cooler in the books.
As I said, if you want a job done right, send in Arya Stark.
Yeah. Vengeance of Winterfell. Yeah,
she'll get it done right, and the guys you're looking to fucking go up against will probably be significantly lower in numbers by the time she gets it done. She's like the non-smooth non-Assassin's Creed, although that's probably more applicable. But do you know
Hitman?
She's like the non-smooth Hitman player, where you get through without getting seen. But by God, are there a lot of bodies on the way?
She's heading down towards King's Landing. Before she goes to Winterfell, right? She's on her way to King's Landing. Runs into a bunch of fucking Lannister troops, including famous singer.
Billy Ray Cyrus.
No, Mappa here, redhead. He was famous a while back.
Is he your man from Simply Red?
No.
Mick Hucknall?
No. Like a modern singer. Does really stupid songs.
Oh, Ed Sheeran.
Thank you. Him. So he was one of the Lannister boys. And the thing is,
Ed Sheeran was in Game of Thrones.
He was, yeah, singing.
Of course.
So they're all around a campfire, and she arrives on and kind of asks,
It's no toss a coin for your Witcher, though.
No. She arrives on and kind of manages to get in on the fire. It's kind of like, so where are you off to? Heading to King's Landing. Oh yeah, what for? Gonna kill the Queen. Now she's saying this to a pack of Lannister lads. They all start laughing, thinking that she's
line, yeah.
she's taking the piss.
If any more words come out pouring out of your cunt mouth, I'll eat every chicken here. Gentleman. He's a gentleman.
Fuck salami.
He's brilliant.
The Hound is awesome. The Hound is
That was
awesome.
awesome.
Like I said, overall, a really, really good horror episode, and the last worthwhile, in my opinion, Game of Thrones episode. I tried watching some of the stuff after, and it's just fuck that shit.
Too many dragons.
Too much shite. I can't wait for George R. R. Martin to finally bring out the books and fix things. Fix it, you mad hairy bastard.
Anyway, as is customary, we got a trailer.
Yes.
So this is a longer trailer because you found this where it appears someone just made a cool movie trailer because it's a movie, not a TV show.
Yeah, I thought it would be like it works well. You know, it builds the episode, has a good feel to it. If I didn't have an ear for music, would not have realised that it was a fan-made trailer at first because I actually legitimately thought it was something made by HBO for HBO.
Right. Anyway, we'll hit the trailer for Game of Thrones, and then we're going to be back with The Simpsons. In my opinion, the best Treehouse of Horror. We were looking for the best Treehouse of Horror segments. Well, we'll get into this after the trailer. We'll be back momentarily.
The eye of the enemy is moving.
The end has come.
Think back to where we started.
Everything you did brought you where you are now. Where you belong. Home.
If we forget where we've been and what we've done, we're not men anymore. That's what death is, isn't it? Forgetting.
It's time to tell John the truth. He trusts you more than anyone. Now's the time.
Whoever's not here now is with them. How long do we have? Before the sun comes up tomorrow.
We must fight together now. Or die.
The Night King is coming.
The dead are already here.
Our enemy doesn't tire. Doesn't stop. Doesn't feel.
I promise to fight for the living. And I intend to keep that promise.
And we're back. So, we saved the shortest one for last because they're all... We have been a little bit long on the segments, mostly because they've all been our episodes, and specifically in the case of Game of Thrones, it was an actual fucking movie.
But it was well worth it.
Yes, I considering I had dropped out in season 5, I did quite enjoy this.
Unfortunately, it has to be watched in total fucking darkness.
Or you won't be able to see what's fucking going on.
At all.
Yeah, it's bad. Good to watch as in a piece of cinema.
Apparently,
bad to watch as in it's very dark.
Apparently someone has lightened it up, done a lighter version of it, so there is a lighter version available up on the internet. I just didn't have it and don't know where to find it, because my technology is dead at the moment.
Right. So, last but not least, the guys who... One of the shows that started doing Halloween horror shit before anyone else. No, what am I on about? Roseanne was doing stuff.
Everything was doing Halloween stuff.
Yeah, but they went horror. Opposed to just doing an episode set at Halloween.
Just because The Simpsons broke ground in regards adult horror, in regards adult animation, is the only reason why it stands out.
Yes.
There is plenty of creepy shit that has popped up in cartoons way before The Simpsons. Not to mention, let's see, Married with Children, where they went on a vacation and found themselves up against an actual serial killer.
Ooh.
That was this close to being on tonight's episode, by the way.
I'll beat the shit out of him.
You did.
Yeah, because that's what Bundys do. Didn't they all beat the shit out of him? Was that a family affair, if memory serves me correctly? Or did Al just go have a private chat with him, actually, if memory serves me?
Bud was a bit young, so it was probably just Al putting him through 3 walls and a window. Because you're leaving.
Yeah, they go to a weird hotel, isn't it, on holiday?
It's not a weird hotel, it's Al being a cheap bastard.
Yeah, but they go to an Al affordable hotel.
A shite hole in the middle of a swamp, in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, Peg.
Kelly still manages to find something to tap.
Yeah, it's
Kelly Bundy.
Goddamn Christina Applegate. She's still well done.
Anyway, Simpsons.
Aged like fine wine.
What was I watching? The Flash. Prank.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember seeing her in the 90s show. Then when she turns back up in the new one, it's kind of like, congratulations, you aged like a fine Asian woman. They age better, usually. They do. Anyway, getting on to stuff before I get in trouble.
Good stuff.
Yep. The Simpsons.
In my opinion, we were going to just pick 2 or 3 of the best Simpsons segments, but then upon going through a whole lot of Simpsons this week, I kind of realised that Treehouse Horror 5 is just the best accumulation of Simpson shorts.
And has a nice running gag involving Willie and an axe.
Yep.
I'm terrible at this.
Willie I'm starting to think I'm terrible at this. Oh, Willie, he tries to save so many people, but an axe in the back or an axe in the chest is just what he received.
No, it's in the back all 3 times.
Is it? Yeah, it's good. Good running gag though.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he got 1 in the chest. 1 in the Shinning's definitely in the chest.
What was in the back?
I'm nearly sure it was in the chest.
Maggie definitely gets in the back. And so does Principal Chalmers. No, it's not Chalmers, it's fucking Skinner. Anyway, yeah, so in this we have 3 parody episodes, as a lot of the Treehouse of Horror stuff is.
Yeah, we have The Shinning.
The most infamous one.
Probably one of the most famous horror ones they've done.
And perhaps one of the reasons why I knew so much about The Shining before watching the actual movie.
There is
Time and Punishment.
Which is where Homer tries to fix his toaster and somehow manages to make a time machine, at which point, well, you can figure out what happens there. Homer goes back in time and fucks shit up.
Yep.
As he's wanted to do.
Yep.
And the last one is
Nightmare Cafeteria.
Yeah, where there's budgetary cuts, the food in the school is not that good, and Jimbo unleashes a beast because they realise Jimbo with the right kind of sauce makes for
Can I get another sloppy Jimbo?
Oh, I need another sloppy Jimbo right now, lunch lady Doris.
No, that food is making all nice and
plump. I mean, fat and detention, getting detention.
Uberwurst for everyone.
It's not Uber.
Uber.
Yeah.
Please don't make me wrong, I'm full of chocolate.
Mr. Simpson. Ooh, you little butterfrog. Oh, Mr. Simpson, don't make me run, I'm full of chocolate.
Good grief.
Good times.
Anyway,
good times.
The Shinning presents the Simpsons version of Stephen King's classic.
Yeah.
After 3 failed attempts.
Amazingly on point with the...
There is a scene in this that, in my opinion, actually works better than the one in The Shining.
The Go Crazy one?
Yeah!
It shows the level of psychosis so quick.
But
All
it's just
TV and no beer make Homer go something,
but even
something.
like
Go
Marge,
crazy?
Marge
Don't mind if I do!
It's not that. It's not that. It's when she comes over, reads the typewriter, and says, "I'm fine." And she stands up, and then the light flashes, and all the writing up behind her is just like, "Oh,
I love the way she's like, but maybe he's writing will give me an indication to how his mind is working. I am fine. Or no, everything's fine. And it was like, oh, thank God for that. Oh no. All TV and no beer
Make Homer something something. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do! So in this, it turns out that the reason that everyone goes crazy in the Outlook Hotel is because Burns is an asshole. He takes away all the beer and cuts the cable.
Yes. Well, it's yet to be clarified, because if he comes back and everybody's massacred, then he'll always Smithers a cook.
Indeed, indeed. Fortunately, however, Homer is helped on his little trips by Moe, who was apparently the last caretaker, offed himself, and is now the barman, and is demanding that Homer whack his family if he wants to get a beer.
Homer, I really think all this eating's kind of... He gets locked up in the fridge, as is the storyline of The Shining at one stage, and he just starts chowing down on food. Moe's just like, Homer, I really think we're deviating off of the point. Shut up! Okay. God damn it.
Yeah.
So good.
Fortunately, however, it turns out that groundskeeper Willie has realised that Bart has the shinning.
Because he's able to read his mind about haggis.
I thought you were going to say because if they say The Shining, copyrights will shut them down.
Oh, it's also because if they say The Shining, copyright will shut them down.
So he warns Bart that if anything happens, like his father going crazy because there's no TV or beer, is to use that shinning and give him a call. And he'll be up and give him a hand. Which doesn't exactly work out the way he thought it would, because Homer's waiting there with an axe. So yeah. But fortunately, things do kind of... It's interesting how they kind of turn Homer around with the TV, hearkening to the book where, Bart where Danny just about manages to make Jack regain his normality. Of course, in this sense, it's because they gather around that little portable TV and freeze their asses off.
Let us warm ourselves with the warmy glow of television.
As opposed to the warming glow of actual heating, you idiots.
Yeah, well, you see, they needed an excuse to have that replica of the final shot from Shining.
Yeah.
And it led to the kind of possible continuation of the story, because 60 Minutes comes on and Homer starts to anger rising. But
anyway, yeah, so a nice little parody of The Shining.
The Shining. Next up, as we said, then we had
Time and Punishment,
where Homer
decides that he's going to fix his toaster.
Well, no, Homer doesn't decide he's going to fix his toaster. Homer goes to get some toast earlier on in the episode, gets his hand caught in the toaster several times. Yeah, while electrocuting himself. Although the toaster's not plugged in, so I don't know how that works. But anyway,
battery-powered toaster?
It had a plug. Cartoons! That's what I say. Shocks the shit out of himself several times, and then ends up having to put the toaster back together with plutonium.
Yes, and various other bits and pieces that one can only imagine. He scrounged from the nuclear power plant.
If one thing has been proven through the Treehouse of Horrors episode, now I know they're not like in canon, the Treehouse of Horror episodes, but you want to get sued. I know they're not in canon, but one thing has been proven throughout the Treehouse of Horror episodes is that Homer smuggles an ungodful amount of radioactive substances out of that.
Treehouse of Horror episodes, that's proven in the normal continuity.
Yes, that's also true. But in the Treehouse, nearly every second Treehouse of Horror, there's some nuclear-based shit that Homer just has lying around the house that generally ends up being part of whatever.
It's a handy thought device.
Yes.
In this case, however, Homer jams it all in.
I think he's a terrorist or something.
Who's what?
Who's what?
Who's a terrorist?
Homer.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, in this case, he manages to create a toaster that works perfectly, making him a beautiful slice of toast and transporting him back to the, Cretaceous period.
Dinosaurs.
Yep, so that's cool. That's cool. He remembers the old bit of knowledge that Grandpa Simpsons gave him
on his wedding day.
If you ever found yourself traveling back in time, don't touch nothing.
I hope I get some sage advice like that on my wedding day.
Ever find yourself in another dimension? Tough. Anyway,
what?
Well, it's not like I'm going to be able to get back.
Fucking find whoever is your equivalent, murder them, and just take over their life and continue on with your happy days. Probably the best thing to do.
That's assuming that you can even survive in another dimension because it vibrates at a different frequency than the one that you're used to. But then again, it's all speculative since no one's ever.
I'll be fine. I'm made of vibranium. Play on me.
Anyway, Homer goes back in time, steps on a bug, which automatically changes things.
Significantly.
Yeah, I think when he...
It's only a little bug. I'm sure it'll be fine.
When he comes back, it turns out that Ned Flanders is the totalitarian ruler of the world, subjugating everyone to re-education.
He's their Ned Diddley overlord.
Yep. So Homer ain't having this, so he goes back in time.
And if you cause problems, lobotomy. Lobotomy.
Yep. He'll scoop
They
out a brain.
even let you keep a little piece in a jar, Homer. Hey there, little guy. Hey, you look kind of hungry.
Homer not standing for any of this, goes back in time and tries to fix things, and this leads to the inevitable bit of him continuously going back in time and eventually just going, screw this, I'm smashing everything. He almost gets the ideal reality at one point.
He gets the ideal reality, he just doesn't realise it.
Because apparently donuts don't exist, but rain does.
But it rains
delicious,
donuts.
Sugary, doughy rain. Covered in sprinkles.
Circular doughs of rain.
Someone could even say it often sprinkles. Anyway, Homer fucks off and eventually decides to smash everything and come back and is left with a family that, in his own words, is close enough.
They're lizards. Kind of. Maybe.
Maybe.
But donuts are there. They're bountiful. Sugar is there. And Bart. Tongues.
Ned doesn't rule the world.
Yeah. And Bart. Tongues. Everything will be fine. Which I'm sure you'd be like, hey.
Worst thing. Anyway, is this going back to that comment I made about your one in Evil Dead? When she split her tongue and I said it was sexy?
Oh, no.
Oh.
I was implying the length and virility of it.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
last segment.
Nightmare Cafeteria.
So, as I said, there's been budget cuts in Springfield Elementary, and the cafeteria food is suffering, where they're basically getting
it's
gruel.
not just that. It's also the fact that detention is so jam-packed that kids are actually suffocating in there, and they've moved a lot of the detention now to the cafeteria.
To compensate for the numbers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, nurse...
People are very cranky, and people are being misbehaved due to all of them eating F-grade meat, whatever the fuck F-grade meat is.
Bad.
Fucking almost meat, I imagine is what the F stands for.
Fortunately, however, lunch lady Doris accidentally spills some of this grade F stew all over Jimbo. Skinner takes a licking and realizes,
Jimbo-licious.
This ain't bad. Jimbo, come with me, boy.
Do you know what this stew has been missing? The right adjective of bad boy.
Jimbo, since you are so misbehaving, you're going to help lunch lady Doris by cleaning the inside of this pot. Kind of hard to clean it when you keep heating it up. Great, now I got to do it in the dark.
Clunk. Oh, who put the lid on? Great, now I got to clean in the dark.
Doesn't take long to realize that soon the
these sloppy Jimbos. Oh, they're so good.
Yep, led to Uder dying and then Oktoberfest being celebrated the next day. You could say we got a little bit of Uder in all of us.
The entertaining story. The reason Bart and Lisa managed to unravel what's exactly going on in the school is because that everyone is so bad at hiding the fact they're cannibalizing the kids. It's not even funny. That is but one of several quips that are like, are you eating kids in the school cafeteria? No. What? Wait. Oh. No. No. Detention.
Eventually it gets to the stage whereby the entire population of Springfield Elementary is in the back row of one classroom.
Yeah.
And when
we should be raising questions at this stage, I would imagine, but it's inexplicably not brought up by any parents. Although it would appear that all their kids are little fuckers.
When
Wendell all in detention.
When Wendell accidentally drops a pencil, it's enough for him to go to detention and thereby Krabappel's stomach. So yeah, nice little Soylent Green version of Springfield Elementary.
With a 50-foot... what?
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah. I know. There's also there's the poor Millhouse scene where you think he's going to be the nerd that survives until he falls face first into a 50-foot blender.
Why would you possibly think Millhouse survives anything?
That's one to think, and then you'd be surprised.
Millhouse barely survives actual Simpsons continuity.
Yeah. He fails at life generally.
Overall, when taken as a whole, this is probably one of the darker Treehouse of Horror episodes, but that should not negate from the fact there are, especially in the early days, some really dark fucking episodes.
There's the episode with Hugo where they Bart had a twin brother who they couldn't afford, so they just locked him in the attic.
Bort.
No, Hugo.
Oh.
Okay. He was a cool character. He's like a big mutant version of Bart.
I really liked the first time they ran into Kodos and Kang. It was the alien abduction on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
And they just completely inverted, whereby it turns out Kodos and Kang actually did want to do nice things for humanity, but the Simpsons were just assholes.
Yeah. That's right. We're just going to probe them up the ass from now on. Fuck that.
Well, actually, I think from that point on, they decided, you know what? Screw humanity. We're just going to eat and or kill them or enslave them. Because after that, whenever Kodos and Kang turned up, they were there to fuck over humanity. Or to take advantage of humanity fucking itself over.
True. Or to reclaim their daughter. What? Maggie Simpson, Kang's daughter.
Oh, yeah!
Have the Jerry Springer episode.
I forgot about that.
Which is brilliant because it's like... I love the bit with Jerry where I can't remember what Marge says, but they bleep her out. She's like, I didn't even say a curse word there.
They actually got in Jerry Springer for that episode too.
Yeah. They got in everyone for those episodes.
Yeah. What else was a good notable one? Like the Gremlins one, where it's Bart in the school bus.
Oh,
there's something on the side of the bus.
And there's something on the... Yeah. It's Gremlin on the plane.
Yeah.
Thing.
There's something on the side of the plane.
On the bus.
It's Shatner.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't he cute? He tried to claw my eyes out. Great night.
Something on the wing. Something on the wing.
There was a time Ned turned out to be the devil.
Yeah, that's fucking hilarious with the bowling alley with Homer's head.
Yeah.
There's the zombie episode, which is really cool.
There's a couple of zombie episodes.
Bart is trying to help resurrect one of the snowballs that died, and he ends up bringing all the humans back to life instead of the animals.
But there's also the time Homer survived the nuclear holocaust and became the Omega Man. Ran into all Mo and all the rest of them as they mutated underground. And it turns out they just wanted to live and be understood and live free.
Mutants?
Yeah.
There's the Edgar Allan Poe episode with the Raven, which is good.
Nightmare Cafeteria actually had one of the most disturbing endings now that I think about it. Because it turns out it's a dream sequence of Bart.
Oh, yeah.
And then they parody
You were
the
just
Twilight
having
Zone.
a nightmare.
They parody the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, everything's normal except for this fucking mist that's outside that turns you inside out.
No, I'm not sure if that's... Hang on, before we get into that. I'm not sure if there was actually an episode like that in the Twilight Zone, but what I do know is there was an episode whereby basically the entire world had drifted too close to the sun.
Oh, shitballs.
And was melting. Well, at the end of it, you find out that it's actually a dream, and it's the reverse. The Earth is drifting away from the sun, and it's freezing.
Ah.
So I think it might have been that. But yeah, in the Simpsons thing, the cloud comes in, and what makes it really dark, really fucking dark...
The show goes off air with Santa's little helper eating the shit out of fucking...
Which
Bart.
they predict in the lyrics. How Santa's little helper is eyeing up Bart's intestines. That's... Yeah! Quite the graphic way of ending one of the better Treehouses of Horror.
Yep.
I had an idea for something for this, but you said you had it covered.
Oh yeah, I have a trailer.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna come back and we'll say our goodbyes and we'll play our trailer for, I think it's yesterday's episode on American Horrors, but I'm sure it's rerunning this week, so it's applicable. It just fits in with what we're talking about here.
Sure.
So we'll be back to say our goodbyes after the Simpsons Treehouse Horror trailer.
Sunday, a 2-hour spine-tingling special. With new tricks, new treats, and new tales of horror.
There's a bug that looks like Dad.
The Simpsons Scare-a-thon. Johnny! Don't! Part of Fox's Halloween Bash. Sunday starting at 7, 6 Central.
There we go.
Just briefly. Bit of a conversation going on in the comments here.
The Jaffa Cake thing?
Billy's description. What the... Cinema Reaper, the hell is a Jaffa Cake? Katie, oh, you are missing out if you don't know what a Jaffa Cakes are.
I like how this stream has also become us teaching the Americans about the weird fucking food we have over
Meanies
here.
and Mighty Munch, well, Monster Munch as they used to, you know.
Yeah.
Bill's response, a Jaffa Cake is a flying saucer of nominally orange chocolate sponge yumminess. Okay, not going to argue with that one.
Call it what you want, it still causes ileotitis.
Diabetes.
Or the diabetes?
Possibly.
The D.
Where are you reading?
Second from the bottom, Cinema Reaper.
Yeah, that's supposed to be diabetes.
Yeah. And Mike is making out. You want one? No, I'm fine. Diabetes.
Yeah, that was right.
Diabetes.
Oh man, those chocolate things that Kevin O'Rourke made that they just called diabetes in a box. We did a nerd night. One of the lads decided he was going to bring down
Diabetes in a box, evidently.
chocolate. I don't know. I can't call it a
Chocolate
muffin or
covered
cake.
chocolate balls filled with chocolate.
Spongy chocolate, and like I wasn't eating them.
Diabetes.
Like
who ate them?
Everyone else.
Diabetes.
Kelly, Lum didn't.
Diabetes.
Bill didn't.
Diabetes.
Dave did.
Diabetes.
I just drank.
Diabetes.
No, it was beer. Little bit of vodka.
Diabetes.
Yeah, not Mary Games. Anyway, yeah. I think we have safely proven that there are
Never
times
said
when
diabetes so many times. Then.
I think we've safely
Diabetes.
proven that there are TV shows that do a fantastic job of delivering horror aspects and delivering good horror episodes. Really.
Yeah. Yeah. All of these are very, very much in keeping in what you would be looking for in a horror movie or horror parody movie in relation to The Simpsons.
Yeah.
All the little tropes are there. But what's really good about these are they manage to stay true to the show while also bringing the horror elements in. They don't seem overtly out of storyline.
Yeah, they use all the. Oh, you mean for specific? Yeah, the Simpsons stuff.
In
use
general.
Yes.
Yeah. Like even the Doctor Who episode, for instance, while it was horror themed, it was still very much a Doctor Who episode, but somehow without shoving Doctor Who down your throat.
And the Game of Thrones episode, or boy, it is Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones, but it's Game of Thrones Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Minus the comedy.
There was a couple of funny bits.
There's a couple of funny bits. But
then again, that might just depend on your sense of humor.
Yeah, a lot of people mightn't get the hilarity out of Arya Stark stabbing the shite out of people the way you and I did. Ha! My head mate. It then brings the Ed Knickerbocker out of me. Anyway, everyone, thanks for joining us. That's us done for today. Go, fucking shite. Carter and Buzz are back tomorrow with
stuff.
Some original versus remake. Again, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It did come up in conversation. And we'll be back Thursday with our usual group chat, which is going to run as long as this, because this turned out to be a longer episode than planned.
Oops.
It's amazing what adding the extra... I thought adding the extra show would be a good idea because of the... Yeah. Because we're literally like one segment longer than what we ordinarily would be. As was on American Horrors last night, we were talking about The Shining. We're going to play the trailer now because I'm sure it's rerunning during the week and I don't have the other trailer made yet. So, post trailer.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just seeing Billy saying absent better than poaching.
Or we'll leave that debate for a later time. No, we're not burying that out for the time.
All my poaching and absent.
Anyway, from myself and the kids, we'll catch you all during the week when we're talking about some other sort of mad horror bollocks. GoreCast out.
Still like pissed off about that whole accident last week. Look,
I am, yeah.
I'm sorry, okay? It was a simple mistake, alright? A simple
mistake. A simple mistake.
Yeah.
4 days on a frickin' island getting chased by a guy in a purple fucking leotard is not a simple mistake. Or fun.
Did you know it was originally supposed to be a red leotard?
I don't care if it was originally supposed to be red. It's red now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, by the end of it, you made a pretty good job.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, look, I swear, right? This time, I'll make it up to you, okay? I got another idea for a vacation spot. Don't worry, I have a whole new way of doing the spell. It won't fuck up this time. I promise. It'll be good, okay? Trust me.
I feel you're talking bollocks.
It'll be fine. Okay, so.
I don't like this. Stop it.
Power of the Abyss.
Stop it.
Where for you
Stop
the
it.
light of the sun is pining.
Stop it.
Open a portal.
Stop
where
it.
for us it
Stop
is
it.
the shining.
Stop it. What the fuck are we doing in the hotel bathroom? Who's that screaming chick?
I have no idea.
Here's Johnny! No, here's Johnny! Right, let's get the fuck out of here!
What in the actual flying fuck is going
I
on?
don't know, but look, at least I got us to the hotel, alright? So just relax. Oh, cool! A tidal wave of blood!
A tidal wave of blood?
Oh crap! A tidal wave of blood!
A tidal wave of blood! Stupid goddamn. What the fuck? Jeez. What in the shit is going on?
I don't know, okay? I don't know, I'll figure it out.
I hate creepy midget kids.
Just let me think for a second. Let me think. Open a portal.
Umbagu.
Open a portal for us where the sun is the shining. Oh, that's what I did. On the plus side though, this gives me a great idea for an episode.
What, haunted as fuck hotels?
No, well, kind of. The Shining and Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. I hate that. It's so fucking scary. Anyway, join us from the guest of Sunday, 8:30 p.m. CST, and whatever that equates to as GMTs, only on American Horrors for a brand new episode where we're going to be looking into The Shining and Dr. Sleep consecutively, because that's the way it's supposed to happen. I'm going this way. Ah! Fucking kids, I hate them.
That way.